Page 30, The Last Rose of Summer. This is a well-known, old vocal song. People would sing this. There's no words given in this arrangement, but it's the melody. It's pretty. It's a really nice arrangement. It gives us a chance to explore some more things with the piano. 3/4 time, 3 flats. We're either in E flat major or C minor because it has 3 flats. If you look at the end, last measure on page 31, you're here. That's an E flat major chord. I'd say this is an E flat major. Make sure you can do those scales. Should be doing them 2 octaves up and down by now. The E flat major and C minor. And you probably ought to be doing the arpeggios too. The E flat major arpeggio and me don't get along. That is just an uncomfortable thing for me to play, but you just work through it. You keep at it. It comes eventually. I have a few suggestions here. In the right hand was 2-3-1. We get these pickups in a number of places. And if possible, I want to finger them the same way, 2-3-1. And that dotted rhythm, make sure that is a short note. Don't turn it into a triplet. Don't triple 1. No, it's got to be short. So it's 3 E and 3 E and. And on the 2 Bs, I tend to, out of habit, I just do a 2-3. I tend to use different fingers on repeated notes. You can do a 2-2. Just make sure you get them. I just like using different fingers on repeat. Then cross over. Hold that half note down. You gotta lift up to get here. Connect the melody. And you can do that if you want at 2-1. If you want, don't have to. I'll leave that up to you. You do that some more. And that rhythm, I kind of went by the rhythm. Let's look at the second. You get it on the first line, but let's look at the second line. In the first measure, it's straightforward. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and. There, 1 and. Because you think, oh, it's a quarter note. Like so? No, it's an 8th note. And on the last measure, the second line, I do recommend a thumb on the half note. This way, you can reach the 3 on the B flat. And I just stay there. Because really, this is the chord we're playing. Broken chord, sort of. So I just stay there until I get to the E flat. So it's here and here. Then I collapse. Now it's a quarter note. 3rd line, 2nd measure. Now it's a quarter note. And going on, that G is tied to the next measure. So hold it down. Here. And then a 2. And here. I'm protecting the melody. Here. And the thumb is going crazy on the bottom. So it's a 2 here, and then I'll come back to these little notes. I'll come back to that little turn. Just go. Right now, just do that. And then you can lift up and come down. And again, 2-3. It's the same passage we've been doing. I want to finger it the same. Now you got to lift up and come down. And again, I recommend a thumb for that last half note there at the bottom of page 30. You're a little closer to where you want to be because I need 2nd finger here. By using thumb here, I'm closer to it. Then, now we get triplets. And there needs to be a difference in the sound between the triplets on page 31 and the dotted rhythms on page 30. It's another reason to keep the 16th notes on page 30 short. You can even shorten them a little bit extra if you want, but keep them short. This, on 31, we get triplets. And I use a different fingering than they. It's up to you. If you want, they're in the second measure. You can third finger 2 and then 1 if you want. If you want, that's fine too. I might use a different fingering though. For me, you can use their finger. It's okay. Going on, second line, triplet, or 3 and a, 3 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a. See, the left hand's playing triplets, so you can play along with the left hand. When I get to the left, and then third line down for the last couple measures, you go back to the dotted rhythms. Then at the end of the fourth line, again, I recommend same as we've had. And this fingering, these thirds, 3, 5, 2, that's fine. And then crossover, you're going to use 3, 5 again. So, and then 2, 4 here. When you first tackle this, you might, well, forget the rhythm. Let's just get the notes. You're here, this is on the thirds, and then here, and then cross over and get here, 3, 5, and then here, and then 1, 2. If you can't get up in here, you gotta go here. But connect this to this. However you finger it, connect it. And the rest you've had before. Now once you had that, then put in the here, so forth. Left hand chords. How you figure these chords is up to you. I typically will do this 5, 3, 2 because I got a this coming. Otherwise you're here, 4 here. I just don't like having to do that. I gotta go here. And here, 3, 1 here, because I want to connect the bottom note. Here. It's a little awkward, but do the best you can. It's good practice. Do that some more. Go down to the third line. You're up here at G, B flat, E flat. Come down, I do a 4 on that D. And that chord at the end of the line, isn't this fun? A B natural, because there's a B flat in the key signature. A D sharp, and an A natural, because there's an A flat in the key signature. Here, it sounds wonderful, don't it? It's a nice thing about when you get chords like this that sound a little edgy, they almost always resolve. That is, this goes to here, to something that doesn't sound quite so edgy. So it's like tension, release. Okay. Page 31, triplets, just keep them even. However you finger them, I don't care how you finger it. You can do a 2, you can do a 3. It'd be the same way you'd be playing the chords. However you're fingering that, that's good. I don't care. Connect them. Make sure they're even. Put the hands together. Remember, when you're first learning a piece of music and you go to put the hands together, after you've practiced them separately, and I hope you do, practice them the hands separately at first to make sure the fingerings are working for you, for each hand. You're going to hesitate and all kinds, that's fine. In the second line, for instance, here, these are together, and then these together, here, and then here. And then I gotta come down here, and then here. Hold the left hand down there. The third line. Remember, I'm holding the G down. And then just work this out. It doesn't matter how slow you go. Here, and then the left hands are all there. You just got to move the right hand. Here. Page 31 on the triplets. Big deal on the triplets, I hope, because the left hand will give you the rhythm you need for the right hand. So you get the hands together and then go back through over it a few million times and work out the hesitations so it's a steady beat all the way through. And once you can do that, then we'll go back and we'll see about adding these turns and the fermatas and as far as articulation goes, it's all connected, except you have slurs or phrases, I should say, in the right hand. Lift up, lift up. It's like taking a breath. Here, and the left hand, connect it all the way through the whole piece as best you can. You're only lifting up in the right hand. Now, sometimes you have to lift up both. Say in the first line on page 30 in that second full measure here. It's a new phrase. Well, both hands, you sort of have to lift up. That's okay if you have to do that. The left hand stays down, but make sure you're lifting up in the right hand. When you get to page 31 on the triplets, again, the left hand, connect these. Here, follow the same slurring you were following on the page 30 if you want. Don't have to. There's nothing given. If you want to connect all this together, you can, but otherwise, but if you do follow it, keep the left hand smooth. So that second measure on page 31 here. So I'm lifting up here, but not here. Now, as far as these turns, just look on page 30. It's the third line down, last measure here. You have a retardando on the previous measure is going to help because you can't do this very well in rhythm because you have a dotted eighth note and here it doesn't give you any time to play any other notes. Those take up all the time. So we have to fudge here a little. So it would be like the right hand, the dotted eighth note, turn it into just a regular eighth note, and during the dot, you play these. And then here. So it's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So all of that would be on and. Well, that's kind of fast. So we may have to take out more time away from the first note, the dotted eighth note, in order to do this. You may have to do this immediately. Just play it immediately. Just boom, 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 boom. Just here. All within that space. Something like that. In order to fit them all in. Even with it slowing down, fortunately, because if it didn't slow down, even if you played a... That's too fast. That's out of character for this piece. This piece is like a sort of a, I don't know, a love song almost. I haven't had enough coffee for that yet, but listen, that's here. You're just slowing down. You can even slow down during that turn. There. It's like all the rhythm in there gets lost. Well, that's okay, because this is like a little flourish. And typically you don't have rhythms and flourishes once you get it learned. You put rhythm in it first when you're learning it, and then after you know it, you get rid of the rhythm for the most part and just play it. And that fermata, you just hang on to that for a little while and then go on. Lift up in the right hand, not the left. And the turn on the fourth line on page 31 works exactly the same way. You can hesitate just a hair on the C if you want, but otherwise run them together. It's interpretation. There's different ways of interpreting it, and I would encourage you to experiment with it. Try it different ways, different times, and see what you think. Dynamic-wise, it goes to the melody, of course, is whatever you think moderately soft is. This left hand needs to be very soft, so be careful. At the end of a phrase, tend to come down a little bit. You can play that softly in the right hand, and then come back to moderately soft. So you can end these phrases at a soft level, but come back up to moderately soft for the next phrase. That's called shaping the phrases. Again, part of interpreting the music. Third line down, you get this crescendo in the second measure. You might go up to about a moderately loud and stay there. And I go down to soft here. Slow down. So you just got a little excited there, and then you slow down. You have to experiment with that. Get to know it well enough that you're feeling this music, and you can experiment on how to interpret those two measures. This is the third line down, last two measures on page 30, or the fourth line down, last two measures on page 31. And then you get the odd tempo. And then another ritardando at the end, bottom page 30, last phrase. Don't retard too much, just a retard on. And then odd tempo again. This is soft. This is softer than you were at the beginning. Left hand's very soft. Now, in my opinion, the dotted rhythm of the last two notes on page 30, I would turn these into triplets. I would play these the same as the triplets, because this is a new thing, this is the new feel here. So once you played this, I would start the triplets immediately here, in the same rhythm. And sempre legato at the top of page 31, second measure. Sempre means always, and legato means connected. Connected always. Keep connecting it. Yep. Yeah, you see it a lot. Except we want to hear phrasing in the right hand if you choose to put it in. Then third line down, going into the last measure, you come up a little bit like you were at the beginning. It's moderately soft. In the right hand, the left hand is still very soft. Come down, hold that for a bit, and then reset and go on. I suggest come back up to moderately soft here. And you may think, well, how do you know that? They don't say anything. You got a decrescendo to come down, then they don't give you any other dynamic. So what are you doing? My feeling is the music, once you get to know it, you're starting the phrase again. I'm going to come back up. Now you could stay at soft, but then watch out on these thirds. The thirds is what gets it. When I see these, I'm going to play this a little louder. So I'm going to play it at medium soft. And then a retard. Come on down to very soft if you want. And that last note, you're stroking these when you want to play really, really super soft on an acoustic piano. If you stroke it, it makes the key go down slower. And the slower the key goes down, the softer it is. In fact, you can go down so slow, it won't even sound. But stroke it. Don't use the soft pedal. Learn to do this with the hands. Just let the wrist come up real loose. So that last one. I want to hear this all the time I'm doing that. So really soft there. Speed. Lento is slow. Espressivo is not a... That's how to interpret it expressively. That comes after you've gotten all the mechanics out of the way and you're getting into the music and into the piece itself. Then you think about express. You feel it, and in theory, you'll play it as you feel it. I got problems with that, but we deal with that. For the most part, yes. So it's slow. 2, 3, 1. Don't drag it. Don't. 1. That's too slow. It has to, remember, it's a piano. You're not, I mean, if you were singing it and you're singing the words and you're holding them out, that's one thing. But when it's just a piano solo, don't go too slow, because the acoustic nature of the instrument, it just dies. It just, when is this going to get over? So keep it a little flowing. I would suggest about there. It is a range. I mean, depending on how you feel, you might play it a little faster and slower depending on what time of day it is or how much wine I've had to drink. I don't know. Just see how it works. Now they've added pedal, which is kind of good because this is really dry, and we want the overtones. We want the schmaltzy. Was that the word? What the lovey-dovey feel of it. And the overtones help us do that. It's going to be overlapping pedal like we've always done. Well, we don't want it to get too blurry, and I'd kind of like to hear the phrasing. So at the beginning, I'm going to, you don't need to pedal the pickup note. Here. Right after I play the notes, I'll push the pedal down. Change it after I play the notes. And there. In the second full major, I don't pedal the B flat. I don't want both of those. So then lift it up with the right, with both hands here, so we hear the phrasing. And you can go ahead, if you want there, pedal those. And again, I don't pedal until I get to the B flat. Here. So the first line again is this. And if I could figure out a way to connect this part, the end of the second full measure, if I could connect that thoroughly with the hands, I wouldn't pedal that either. But I can't. I can't connect this, so I have to sort of pedal it. Second line here. Again, I don't pedal B flat here, and I lift it up with the hand so I hear the phrasing. And I don't pedal the G. I lift it up. I don't pedal the last beat. Here, so I lift it up with the right hand. Keep the left hand down. Third line down, second measure. Change it on the second beat. We don't want both of these. No, the longer the note is held out, the more time people have to hear the mess. So be careful. We want to keep this fairly clean. We just want the overtones. So pedal on each of these in the second measure. Here, pedal again, here. And now you can lift up. It's a phrase if you want, or connect it if you'd rather. It's your choice. And then here. And then pedal each of these. That's fine. Pedal just like you're doing. And then when you're done, lift the pedal up with the hands. We get a little silence to go on. And I don't pedal this. Because we haven't been pedaling this pickup before, I don't want to pedal it here. Well, I got a problem there because I can't connect the left hand. I want to connect the left hand. I need the pedal for that. So I'm going to do that technique I've talked about before, the legato pedal, where I'm pedaling only long enough to connect the left hand. So I don't pedal that, and as I play the 16th note, I'll pedal that and then change it. This way I'm connecting the left hand. And the little pedal I do on the 16th note is so quick you don't notice it really. B flat, lift up, don't pedal the G, the end of the page, page 30, lift it up with the hands and don't pedal this. I want to hear the rest in the left hand here, lift up. Page 31, second measure, pedal each beat. Change it, I should say. And I'm lifting up. If I want to hear the phrasing, if I want to hear the phrasing, I'm going to lift the pedal up. If I don't want to hear the phrasing, I just legato all the way through. But go ahead and pedal as they're telling you. Second line, last measure, pedal each beat, change it on each beat. Keep it clean. I don't even pedal. Third line, first measure, I still don't pedal the here, but I finger pedal this. I hold it down. If I'm not going to pedal it and I lose it, I got to pedal it. But if I pedal it, I get this. I get both. So I'm going to finger pedal that and not pedal it until the beat here. It's a combination of finger pedaling and with foot pedaling. We do it a lot, and so try it out. It gets a little tricky, but it's kind of fun. Third line down, second measure. Lift up with the hands and don't pedal the third beat. Fourth line down, pedal each beat. Lift up with the hands for the phrasing. Lift it up after the fermata, so you lose silence. And again, I don't pedal this, but I need to pedal the F so I can connect the left hand. So it's here, you can go ahead and do that, or you can change the pedal on each of those. I'll leave that up to you. Try it out both and see what you like, and then go on. And the fermata is on the last beat of this measure. In the last measure, it's 1, 2, 3. And then you hold it out a little longer, however long you think is right or what feels good, or until you're tired of hearing it and then lift up. It's a beautiful piece, but you got to get past all the mechanical stuff. Get that out of the way so it's automatic. Then you start getting into the music.